Hey, fifth grade. If you're watching this video, you're ready for the step of drafting with your second free verse poem. So as always, we start from this screen unless you are in the middle of the writing process and you didn't just do one part of it. So maybe you're in a groove and you're progressing through those steps. Obviously, you would have this open already. But if you're watching this video, that means that you have gone into this Google Slide presentation and you have watched the video that introduces you to this assignment. And then you have also watched the video that teaches the step of pre-writing and how you go about that. And so you are now ready for draft one, and that's the lesson that you're writing right now, or watching right now, not writing, getting ready to write. So once you're done watching this video lesson, you're going to go back into the assignment and you're going to hover until you find the document that says draft one. And that happens to be right here. So I'm going to click on this. And this is pretty self-explanatory. You're probably going to want to go into the assignment and also open up the graphic organizer that you completed yesterday, or not yesterday, scratch that you completed during the step of pre-writing. Okay, so you're opening the graphic organizer that you completed in the step of pre-writing. Then you're going to go back up here to the tab where you have draft one. Okay, and I've included some instructions on each document to help you. So you do need to watch these videos, of course, all of them. But then as a reminder, when you get into the document, I have some instructions for you. It says open the pre-writing graphic organizer in a tab. This can be found in your work section of the assignment. So we already did that so that you can refer to it easily. Next, use the topic and details that you added to your graphic organizer to write the first draft of your free verse poem below. Remember that this is your first try at getting what's in your heart and mind on paper into the shape of a poem. Draft in lines and stanzas, not in sentences and paragraphs. So I'm going to move my face for a minute. And my recommendation to you is that you will not delete this until the very end of draft one. So maybe even, you will not delete this. So go ahead and click enter a couple of times. So put your cursor at the end of the instructions that I've given you. Hit enter a couple times and then start drafting your poem here. Remember, we're not really focusing on spelling or grammar or anything that might slow the creative process down. What we are doing is we are bouncing back and forth between this drawing where we gathered our details and our ideas for our free verse poem and this draft. So I'm going to go ahead and start by adding my working title. I haven't crafted this title, so I'm going to go ahead and just call it A Week in Hawaii. And notice I use this button here to center it because it's a title. And then I'm going to just hit enter. And I'm going to tell it, no, I don't want to center anymore. So I'm going to hit the left align button. And then I'm going to start typing the first stanza of my poem. Now, I reminded you guys that you need to draft in lines and stanzas, because if we don't go ahead and draft in lines and stanzas, then it's not going to read like a free verse poem, which has lines and stanzas. If instead you write this as if you're writing a paragraph or a story or a narrative, then it's going to read that way. So it's very, very important that you decide how many stanzas you want to have, and you put those ideas from your graphic organizer into this draft. Now, obviously, that's a bunch of gibberish. I just wanted you to see what I was talking about. Okay, so once you get your poem written on draft one, remember, you're not turning this in. You're just moving on to the next step of the writing process. You're going to go watch the video that comes after this one. It's the video on revising and draft two. And then you're also going to go into a new document to do that. So remember, you're not turning this in until you're all done. So you're creating your first draft, you're using this drawing, and then you're transferring those thoughts and ideas and you're shaping it into a poem that has lines and stanzas. When you're done with that, you're going to move on to the next step. Hopefully, you guys are doing well with this. If not, don't hesitate to reach out with a message or an email, or if you need a Google Meet, I'm here for you.